Man, we got a great show, and we're about to go ahead and get into the word. So we're going straight from the source this morning, and y'all, we are in Psalms 23. And I think that one thing about Psalms 23 that's dope is every once in a while, we hear people all the time talk about affirmations and different things like that. But y'all, imagine hearing an affirmation from the Word of God, like real truth that we can apply and then we can read and let it calm us down. So today we're going to be in Psalms 23 for our time, which straight from the source. And the text reads, and this is NIV version, y'all, just so y'all know. The text reads, "The Lord is my shepherd. I lack nothing. Mm, 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 mm. He makes me lie down in green pastures, and he leads me beside quiet waters. He refreshes my soul, and he guides me along the right paths for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, or I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. For your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies, and you anoint my head with oil, and my cup will overflow. Surely your goodness and love will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever." Y'all, reading this text, I think is really dope because even at the top, you hear David talking about the Lord being my shepherd, right? He makes it personal for him. And like we talked about a little bit earlier, I think it was like last week, and I talked about David growing up being a shepherd. So he has a personal relationship in this role and understanding what this takes and what this requires of him. But y'all, the shepherd is so essential and important because sheep be out here wandering. And that's why y'all see shepherds with these long staffs with the hooks, because sheep will wander and sometimes they'll wander straight off a cliff. Okay. It's wild. But sheep aren't known to be the brightest animals, but they'll pull them back with that staff. But here David is saying the Lord is my shepherd. So he's giving him guidance. He's giving him direction. And then that comma, then he says, I will lack nothing. Like really imagine that because we're in a first world country to where we have everything at our fingertips: phone, Wi-Fi, internet, like all that. We can even go to a coffee shop or whatever and then get on Wi-Fi for free, which is wild if you really think about it. But y'all, we don't lack anything in the States in comparison to some other countries and other places. So just begin to just tell yourself that in your mind. Like, I lack nothing because the Lord is my shepherd. And then the part that I really like is in verse 2, where it says, He lays me beside quiet waters. Right? Just think of hearing rain sounds at night and being calm, having the ability to not worry about the stress of the world, having the ability for your soul to be at ease. He refreshes my soul. And then I also like in verse 4 where it says, even though I walk through the valley, through the darkest valley in life, we're gonna have ups, we're gonna have downs. I've had a good handful, right? If it be high school, middle school, college, like there's always been areas in my life where I've been fearful, I've been worried, just because of what that season of life brought for me. But y'all, knowing that God is with you, will fear no evil. So, family, today, what I want you just to reflect on, like if you get in a spot to where it seems like a lot is happening around you at work, a lot is happening around you at school, maybe you bumping heads with your boss or even at the house, right? I want you to begin to just take a second and then just recite this text in your head. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall lack nothing. He maketh me lie down in green pastures. He restores my soul. And for his name's sake, y'all, will fear no evil because his rod and his staff comfort me. And this is, like I said, this is one of those things that's an affirmation to speak over yourself, to calm yourself down. Because if we don't have a place, let me make it by myself. Let me make it by myself. If John doesn't have a place to where when things are stressing me out, if I don't have a place where I can go to ground myself, to calm myself down, I will break down. I will sit there, I won't say anything, I'll shut down on you, and I will just break down and lose it. But that's why we need this text here, because this text is letting us know that this is our home base, this is our foundation, to where we can be reminded how good God is and what God has done for us and continues to do for us. In that way, we're going to keep that battery charged. And also keeping that battery charged and staying moving, y'all, then we'll be prepared to get ourselves centered, get ourselves ready to go, and then we can rock and roll. So that's the application for you today. Knowing that, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever day of the week might be one of your most challenging days. And if you know that before going into that day, right, then we want to take time before, get our minds right, get ourselves centered, and then be prepared for the day ahead of time. So that's the real application, right? Prepare for the battle before the battle comes. Because like my professor used to tell me in school, you prepare for the prepared, so you're always prepared. But family, this has been Straight from the Source. I'm Jonathan Jones, and y'all, this is Speaker Success in the Morning. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more of Speaker Success.